Welcome to Super Buddies Forever, and if you've seen the intro of our newest doll, Miss Amy, here's the video journal on how she came to be. Happily, these arrived today, and this is the dolls I'm beginning with for my inner me Barbie. You can see why I loved this head. She's from Fairytopia. I forget her name, not Joy Bell. I forget her. Elina. I don't know much about it, but I wanted rooted eyebrows, and I'm not so confident with face-ups. And I looked at this, and it was perfect. A little too wild for an everyday Barbie, seeing as we're doing the family theme. So I went with this. I'm gonna try and touch those eyes up a little bit to be a little more blue. I didn't want that green to turn me off from it. Her hair is a mess. It has some tinsel on it. We'll see how that works out, if that stays or not. She's got a beautiful face. I don't know which doll this is. I'm really excited that she already has a ring hole. And she's mostly articulated. I didn't go for a Made To Move because she's mostly going to be for display, and here and there wasn't needed. This one's a really neat doll. It came with wings that didn't work, so I told the seller to break them off and save me a little bit in shipping and save her a small, doing it in a smaller package. See if we can save that. But this is funny. Look at how much more high. I'm curious what shoes. Maybe she didn't have shoes. Maybe that was just the fairy look. But that's my start. So first I'm going to wash this and then put it in my fabric softener. Maybe brush it first. Put in my fabric softener and water half situation. Panda, are you liking this? No, you can hear the real panda snoring. Okay, let me get to that. Without sending you to other salon times, I'm just going to review how I untangle the hair. I broke my favorite comb pulling so hard on this. I soaked it in half water, half fabric softener for about 20 minutes. I did not drown the head underneath. I only kept it about a half inch away because I'm not sure about the glue underneath, and especially the eyelashes. I prefer to just put it on my lap, put it in two sides, part it down, and just work it while it's on top of the towel, because the fabric softener does stain, so that saves me that problem. I have not rinsed the fabric softener out, and I can just brush. This way I can hold the head, hold the hair, and use the pressure against my leg. And to me, that just makes it a lot easier. That fabric softener works great for detangling. She's got pretty thin hair. I think that's going to work to my advantage. I made sure not to dip her whole head in. Did not want to touch those eyelashes. I did put it in a second time just to give it some extra softening. It's been about an hour or so. And I'm going to just clean her up and set her. So actually, maybe pull her off. I guess I don't need this anymore, so I can pull off her head. I could have cried. I am breaking everything today. She's giving herself a face palm. I broke the neck. When I pulled this one off, no problem. I did use hair dryer and tweezer method, and I yanked on this one too hard, I guess, and I busted it. And that's my cool body with my ring finger, so I need to fix it. Her hair looks wonderful at this point. Not bad. I'm still not sure about that tinsel thread, but let's see. So otherwise, this portion is, oh no, wait, I'm gonna use, I'm jumping here. I'm gonna use a little toothpick with some blue paint and try to just dab those eyes and make them blue. And as for this, I don't purport to be a professional on this. I quickly got on YouTube, looked at whatever video was first, and seen, okay, there's a way to fix it. So I have the bead and the wire method going. That's how I'm gonna fix it. And then after I do her eyes, I'm gonna have to wait until the hair comes in. Okay, we have relief. What a relief this was. It looks like the bead technique worked. I'm so happy I had these beads, having just bought them for the set for my Barbie stuff. And that little piece is going to be broken off so I can use it. I broke a couple Monster High necks. I can fix those now too. It was a little tricky, but I'll see if I can find the video and put it up there in case anybody else needs to know. The important part was that the bead is going to fit in the hole and be a little bit bigger than that inner hole. So that should work. I can't test it on my head because I don't want it, if it sticks and it's gonna work, I don't want to have to take it out. So next is her head. Now let's see if we can see this with no glare. I was able to use the toothpick and change up the blue in her eyes, in which I messed up the white a bit. So I fixed that and then had to do some black just to make it bigger. And I like that I had the shinier paint so her eyes look a little shinier in real life. If you got really close, even closer, when I take a picture and then zoom up on it, you could see my mishaps, and well, there you can kind of see some of the green is not quite covered. But from far away in distance and what I need, this worked out really well. I'm happy, happy, happy with it. So I was waiting, and it didn't wait long, and my hair came in, and I am excited to try it out. Let's just put her down. Excited. So you all know by the picture I showed that was on this company on eBay that the idea I was going with. I have never ever done a reroot, an addition, anything with hair, so this has all been a new experience to me. I want to give the hugest shout out to the dollplanet.com. Highly, highly recommend them. They've been doing hair customizing for 20 years. They have their own little shop. The whole family's involved. Really neat. So this pack cost about $15. So this has been an experience. I'm pricing to for 7 hanks. I don't know how far a hank goes, and I wasn't sure, and now I know. So I have ample to do her hair and then some. So this is good to go. This has been, anyway, for the first time learning experience with this. I am so impressed with them. I thought they lived 3 hours away, their shop, and they've only moved less than like 30-40 minutes away. I foresee going to meet them and getting more hints and tips, and that's good. They have a YouTube channel. I'll link that above, and as well as Instagram, and I've even seen now people I follow on Instagram buy hair through them. So if you're willing, highly suggest them. This was the little kit that you can buy that has the tool. I'm not using the tool yet, but I'm gonna try it, but I don't think I need it for this particular project. But I am now influenced to try that later. I have something in mind. As well, what was nice is they put this nice piece of paper in. This is what I like too. Like, well, great, they didn't just sell you some stuff and send it to you. They actually explain some stuff and give you some hints and tips. If you want to pause and read that, there's a couple things in there I didn't know, so I'm pretty excited about that. Like, I always thought you can only put it in hot water for a minute. This says 8 to 12 minutes. So very, very expertise people, and I'm looking forward to meeting them in person. So this hair, I think with that rerooting tool, you all know I've been wanting to do gilded gold sag. I have a ton of hair here. I'm sure I can play with these 3 colors alone and what's left over to get me going. And I have another project which I'm going to have to go meet them. So interesting. I am going to do the knot method, which they knew by what I ordered, and insisted that this rerooting tool is awesome and better. I'm just not confident yet. And it feels like I don't know. I'm just trying this first. I'm anxious to do this one. I don't even have glue here yet. So I got these from Walmart, just me being a sewer, and I've read and seen tutorials, and people always talk about how their fingers hurt and get sore, and I'm assuming needles. Those are my own little things I bought. I'm going to use the knot method, which I will in a second show you pictures in which I tested it. So you basically thread the needle with hair, stick it in the hole, pull it out, and make a knot, and then pull it back without the needle, and that holds it in with glue. It's up to you. I'm going to use some fray check for now because honestly I don't have the fabric tack and I'm just a little too anxious to get started. I have a little tester here to see if that fray check seems to be okay, and it's going to work for now. The point of the glue is so if you are going to restyle the hair, it can handle the heat from the hot water if you're restyling. So I'm not a pro at this. And I'm not going to do a full tutorial because that's not what this is, because I could be leading you in the wrong direction and I don't want to do that. This is more my experience with my first time trying to do hair. And water. Everybody says it's easier when the hair is wet, so I'm going to try that. Wish me luck. Mama Jammers, first impression, honest take on hair. Well, this isn't quite rerooting. It's adding highlights, as I read by my packaging or conversation with the Doll Planet. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. It's very tedious, as I imagined, and it's nothing that I didn't imagine. I tried, I'm just going to throw this all out there where I'm at right now. I tried using a needle threader, and that quickly broke in like 2 strands. So that's trash. And then within this many strands, I'm able to, you know, stick it in your mouth, put a little spit on it, and thread these strands no problem. So that's becoming comfortable very fast. I found I needed tweezers, little things I've figured out. A magnet is good to hold my needle. My thimble is helping tons. The water is helping. Everything's working out good. The freight check is seeming to be okay for now, although I am going to have to go to the store for the fabric glue. That's for sure. There's not a lot of glue in her head. I can tell by looking as close as I can look, but these eyelashes I don't think have any glue on them, or it's all knotted in there. It's really strange, but I'm going to do that for sure. What this is giving me great confidence in, because there's very few I want to do the whole head. Gilda's one, and maybe 1 or 2 others. Otherwise, it's more about the dolls that have thin hair to just add to them. So I'm hugely encouraged that any I may love, like Darling Charming, I could fix up in the future. The reason this is becoming apparent now, this is why I think there's not much glue. There's so much hair has come out of the holes that's becoming handy to just stick a color in. And there's so much, it's so light that I can make my own without worrying about busting the scalp and adding too much. I think I got a good feel for how much hair to do, and the thimble is coming in really handy for when I'm making new holes. That's making my job less painful. I'm sure it would have been after 3. These iridescents, I have decided as I'm moving along, since I'm all up in her strands, strand by strand, if they're short, I'm kind of snipping them out close to the scalp because they are just ratty. And that's how I feel about it. It's not bad. I can tell that now. I forgot to mention, when you order this, you can change up the colors, and this original pack came with what was called Bollywood Fuchsia, and I didn't like that. I wanted the exact rainbow colors, and then I wanted some kind of gray. This is called London Fog, because I'm older, and we got my old used to be blonde hair, and I wanted some gray from my wisdom hair, and I want to work that into. I can see me already trying that tool with how much of that I wanted. This knot method is very, very tedious. I can see that it's harder. At the same sense, I'm enjoying it because I can be precise on where I want it without worrying at this moment about how that tool works. And I can get it into the fine ones around here. So if you're here for this style, it's a long video to watch this style. What I'm doing, I've never done this before, so I have done hair and dyed my hair. As a matter of fact, my own hair I did with 10 different colors, not rainbow colors, more auburn, blonde, and all the usual natural colors. So I'm kind of going by what I've done, and also just I'm going by look. So what I'm doing right off the bat is making sure I get a fine one around the crown, including the back. So when she's sitting naturally, it's coming right out the front. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just adding where I think I need to see more red. And this is going to be fun as the colors move in. And those ones, of course, are not showing at the hairline, but should show as it moves along and hangs. And I like that good. I like this mixture. I did a little braid here just so I could keep my part on the top, and as well, like, so when I go this way, I'm going to do it the same as that. I can get the full rainbow colors here, and this side possibly, but more so this hank of hair right here in the braid. I want to add some extra of that London Fog because I do have a gray streak. You don't see it with my dyed hair, but I want this one to be a little heavier in the London Fog and the gray. So that's where I'm at, and I'm going to go to the store and get the glue. This needle, the needle nose pliers helps a lot. It'd be nice if we could get a longer one. That would make things a lot easier, but maybe not, because if you still need the pliers, what's the difference? I have gone through, in, and then right through the side of her neck and stuff like that, but it seems to suck in really good if you make that accident. And I think a longer needle would be helpful. So that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna just pick around at these and add about this much. You can see that's all I use. With everything I put on her with the red, I got that much left over. Maybe I'll do a couple more. I'll see as I move along. But for now, I'm just gonna hit each color, with each color, where it's at. So that was a long little segment to say, I probably picked the hardest thing to do for my first. And it'll probably be way easier as I move along and try just filling hair out. It's just this nice relaxing thing to do, and I'm sure I'll get far more comfortable with it as I take my time and get a system. And you can just watch TV and do this. And this part's taking me thought because I gotta make sure my streaks are in the right place so you can see them. This one you can knot before you thread it into the head, but it felt like this second way I could be more precise. You have to knot it after you put it through the head. When I went to the store to get the glue, I also decided to pick up some larger needles. I thought they would be helpful. There's the small one, and then I got the large one. So that's been very helpful to me, especially because I decided to make the highlights bigger. I was doing too small. But when I'm going around the hairline, I'm still using the small needle so as I don't bust through the scalp. And then I'm using the bigger needle for all the fill-in. And that seems to be working out really well. Like I said, I know at this point that I'm doing these too thick, and I've actually backtracked on some of the ones that were a little too thin for me, as I really want these colorful strands and highlights to be amazingly vibrant and not quite as subtle as the picture I showed before. I'm liking this. There's my streak on the part, which has the full rainbow colors, and I actually made a mistake. Do you see it? I made a mistake, but that's okay. This has been totally interesting, and I've been just so anxious to jump on it. I know I'm not being precise. So that's what I got left over in hair after doing most of this, and it's time to start the gray. But first, I'm going to show you time visual here exactly how I did this. Remember, this is my first time, so this is probably the most slow as molasses way you can do anything. And then of course having the camera on me and thinking about it made it a lot less natural than it's actually been as I moved along. So first I'm getting my little strand of hair. I'm cutting the end off so I have a nice flat straight part to stick in my mouth and get some spit on it. It just does work the best, doesn't it? And thread the hair through the needle. Now I pull off enough to leave a little tail there so that when I press it through it doesn't come out. I totally understand why these things are so long now. I'm working on the back because I want to make it so if I give her pigtails, then she can have a nice part back there too. So I'm really filling that up. All in all, I know I've put way too much hair in this head, but it's a look. Here's my thimble, which came in handy to press that through. I'm not sure if that was probably a fresh made hole, so that thimble really came in handy. As I told you, the big needle for fill-in spots, it is a lot easier to dictate where it goes to the hole. Here's my needle nose pliers. Pull that out. Now pull my tail out. Yep, where is it? And you know what? This was the messiest strand out of any of them, I swear, that I've done. I dipped my fingers in water here and just put it on there, and that makes it easier to knot it for inside, and it control then doesn't get fully frayed. Of course, as I said, this one, because I'm showing you, has to be the messiest one. Now I did see this on a tutorial, putting a little dab of glue in the knot. Of course, I'm using my fray check. I have since used regular glue in that. You got to be careful that the glue is not on the side that might pop through the scalp. That's something I learned along the way. Snip off your excess after pulling it back through, and pull and smooth. And now we have here one strand, just one. I've done as much as I could do, and I'm pretty excited. I want to cut it. Maybe a mistake was using the old hair. Maybe a newer doll would have been better with hair, but then the rest starts to look like that. So what's the difference? I did put some earrings on there while I had the needle out. That was a little bit of a wrestling match, but not bad. I've been working the eyelashes to try to get them to go up and not look funny. And it's time to cut. I've seen on other tutorials you can use smaller hair, so I'm gonna save this. I got a rubber band around it. Let's do the first cut. That's thick. I might have done it too thick in the back. I'm hoping it's not going to tilt in the nape. I'm hoping it's not going to tilt her head forward. Ooh, look at how colorful it is. So let's drop it and see it for the first time. Whoa, looks a little bit crazy right now, but whoa, very fun. I love it. I love the mixtures. Neat. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on inside and let that dry and then put it back on her body. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I love it. It's what I imagined, especially my gray streak. Oh, she's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Head went on fine. Glue was in. I kind of used this to poke it around to make sure I got it in there because it is too thick. But the results of it too thick, I am super happy with. Interesting to see the different layers and how it's going to look. So what I'm doing for this haircut is, and of course don't cut your hair unless you have permission or should. This is going to be specific to this hairstyle. So what I'm doing is taking a layer off the bottom, cutting it straight across so I'm close to this old blonde hair that was in here. So I'll cut that straight across like this. And then I'm going to section it halfway and take it over here and make a sort of V, which will match up to what seems similar to what this doll had already. I already did that side, and I haven't done this side. So I'll take, again, those scissors and go like that. So that should all blend in really well. Then I'll take another layer and do the same thing, but I'll do it just a tad shorter. So the idea is when it lays, hopefully it's going to do that and we can see all of the colorfulness in another way. I got her haircut all done well and I'm happy with how it looks, but now that the hair is shorter, I'm trying to figure out why it's sticking up so much and not quite laying the way I cut it. It looks mighty funny right now. But as I look through the way it's laying, even though it's foofy and puffy, I really like it. I especially love on the hairline and the part that it's got the rainbow spectrum properly, and then the mixture in the back. The gray, yeah, exactly personalized to me is perfecto for me. Not maybe for everybody, but it's working for me. And here I am just thoroughly enjoying it. And so, to get rid of the floof, because I'm not going to dip her head in water for about a month, I needed to figure something out. So, oh, dryer sheets, yes, that definitely helps with the static clean. I'm going to trust my friends here and try doing what they said. And I did. I used my old curling iron I've had stuffed in a drawer. I tried it on the low setting first, in the middle, just in case I messed up, and then ended up going higher on this particular curling iron. Wow, look at the results. They are right. It even took the old hair and took down some of the fray. I simply clipped it onto the hair and just kept dragging it down to straighten it, and their expertise is right on. This looks way better than it did. It got some of my floof down, but like I said, I'm still going to wait at least a month before I even attempt to dip this head with hot water. I put, I'm sure, way too much glue in it too, and I just want to make sure that's dry. So that boil perm, yeah, we'll wait on that. We can definitely have fun with her hair as time moves on, but when I look at her, I couldn't be more delighted. So of course here she is in her debut video, which you've already seen, but in case somebody just sees this, I thought I'd add it in here. Looking gorgeous, looking gorgeous. The floof definitely went down some, and as I move her around by this little hair flip coming up, you see she, in my eyes, she turned out exactly the way I wanted her. Like I said, this might not be for everybody, but it's working for me. My artistic inner me has certainly come out. I love this. Absolutely love this part in that video. Yeah, pretty, pretty, pretty. So next up, again, if you're just watching this for the first time, she also got her own wardrobe, which involves any clothes in any style, which has all the colors in the rainbow. And be it they're muted, metallic, or pastels, it'll be fun to add to her wardrobe and dress her up as time moves on. Couldn't resist the little bathing suit. Her color for accessorizing is always going to be a purple, which stems from the story of the purple hat. Have you looked it up? And I will collect those things. The cowboy boots are my favorite, and I'll tell you in real time, I switched her into those. She also has her favorite hat, my world, the purple hat, and I love it. And at the moment, in real time, I've misplaced it. Ugh. Here she is. And thank you all for watching this video journal. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a long one, but I hope you got, if anything, some confidence to try this yourself if you wanted to. See you next time.